Thank you for visiting the Diamond Mindset channel. The title of today's video is Stop Allowing Your Politics to Interfere with Your Manifestations. My name is Charles Lewis. I'm the author of The Diamond Mind, The Law of Attraction based on ancient scriptures and modern day practitioners. There will be a link to pick up the book if you like on Amazon or Audible. I'll put the link in the description. So I think today's video is going to be very enlightening for you, as it was for me when I finally stopped being goofy about politics. So, I've always been interested in politics. It's kind of like an addictive pastime. If you look at it realistically, it's like, it's just like sporting teams. I'm obviously a Buckeye through and through. I actually attended the Ohio State University. So I'm a Buckeye through and through. So I look at politics, Democrats and Republicans like Ohio State and Michigan without the beer and burgers. So, basically, just like your favorite team or the religion that you subscribe to or your politics, the reason it gets so emotionally intense is because it's embedded. You've allowed that choice of your favorite team or, political faction to be embedded into who you are as a person. It's part of your self-concept. It's part of who you are. I am a Democrat, right? And when it's embedded into who you are, people become very emotional about it. That's why they tell you don't even talk about politics or religion in a work setting, because it's a very emotionally charged thing. So just like me saying I am a Christian, that's part of who I am. So anybody that attacks anything about Christianity, I'm going to feel some type of way. And it's going to be a very strong emotion, because obviously with religion, there's heaven and hell attached to it. Politics is the same way, especially if you are part of a group of individuals that's basically been shit on for years and years and years. So my way of kind of becoming numb to the way that the black people were being treated is by rooting for the side who on the surface is making decisions based on making decisions that would affect me, give me the highest likelihood of success. Okay. So, I thought that was the Democratic Party at the time, right? And on the surface, they do a little bit more to help out minorities and things of that nature. But I'm just not. They're all crooks, right? They're all in it for themselves, politicians. For the most part, you'll find some with a good heart, but the majority of them are crooks, and they're out to just pad their pockets and look out for their best interests. And they'll say whatever they have to say to whatever group of people that they need to say it to in order to get things done. So, back to the message. How can your political affiliations interfere with your manifestations? Well, if you are so emotionally charged about which politician gets in office, deep down, there's a sense that you think your life is going to be better if your team wins, or your life is going to be worse if your political side that you're siding with loses. So you're giving the circumstances the power instead of controlling your circumstances. You're allowing your circumstances to dictate your circumstances, because at the foundation of the law of attraction and law of assumption, You get who you are. You get what you are, you get who you are. You don't get what you want, right? And everything that you see is a direct reflection of the story you're telling yourself about who you are and how you relate to the environment, right? So if who you are is a Democrat and you relate to an environment in such a way that says that I will only have success if Democrats are in office and they have both the House and the Senate and blah, 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 then your circumstances will be a product of that. So if your team doesn't win, there's an underlying assumption that I won't do as well. False, false, false. Fake freaking news. A winner will win regardless of who's in office, what color they are, what religion they are, what their gender is, how much money they make, what their level of education is. Period, point blank. And how can you become a winner if you don't feel that you're a winner? Is by going back to the first step in the video, in the last video. The very first step, and it's not really even a step. I didn't even identify it as a step. It's knowing that you are source. The most important thing you can do in your life right now is to concede to the simple fact that you are source. You were created by source. You are one with source. Therefore, you are source. And everything that comes after that assumption will reflect that initial perception. And you have to perceive yourself as source, because a person that perceives themselves as source knows that there are no outside environmental factors that is going to affect their assumption or what they're trying to line up with in terms of manifest, what they're trying to create in terms of embodying. Because we're not really manifesting or creating anything. We are becoming something that has already been created, right? So it's okay to see the political landscape and say something like, well, I don't particularly care about what this side is doing. I kind of like what these guys are doing over there, kind of like what these guys are doing here. Or you could even say, I don't like anything that those guys are doing on that side, and I love everything they're doing on this side. That's fine, as long as you leave it right there. But once you take the step to say that, okay, so if my guys get in office, I'm going to be able to, manifest a better job. I'm going to get paid more. I'm going to have a better quality of life if these people are in office. If that's your story and your people get in, then guess what? You're probably going to have a better quality of life. But if that's your assumption and your people don't get into office, right, it's going to affect the way you feel about yourself. It's going to affect your self-confidence. It's going to affect your self-concept. And you are going to reflect your initial assumption that I won't do well. Your circumstances and your environment is going to reflect your initial assumption that because my people aren't in office, I am not going to do as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not the truth. You will win regardless. The only thing you have to do is know that you're source. Choose what you want to be. Visualize that. Give yourself some type of, mental visualization of you being that person that you already want to be, because you are. And then staying in that end. Okay? And this one last thing I'm going to say. One of my clients actually reached out to me after the last video that I posted, and they said that, well, what if I've done that? I've assumed that I'm source. I've chosen what I want it to be. Okay. I'm acknowledging my circumstances, but I'm not becoming them, and I'm not allowing them to determine whether I believe that my manifestation is going to come to pass or not. Okay. And I've created an imaginal act, and I go back to that. And I am becoming the person that I want to be, but nothing's happening. So, this is the thing. You can't look outside of you for proof of who you are. You have to remain source. Okay. So, anytime you have to answer their question, this is what you do. You go back to step one. You go back to the very first priority, which is knowing that you're source. When you know that you're source, and you know that you created what you're seeing that you don't particularly care for, you're going to be able to create something different and stand in that knowing, regardless of what you see. So you just go back to your initial assumption, which is the truth, that you are source, and that's what you have to embody. Anyhow, if you have any questions, you can always email me. If you want to work with me one-on-one, the link will be in the description below. Again, you can also pick up the Diamond Mind on Amazon and Audible. And if this added value to your life, please like and subscribe, share, and comment. Let me know what you think about it. All right? Love you guys. Have a great day.